folks. Okay, now folks, I've hit the road again. I've hit the road and am headed towards some Sankalpa. I have left Persona behind. Persona is your Sudatta's home, the person who bought the Jetavan with gold for the Buddha. I have left Sudatta's home and I'm headed towards east from Sudatta's home to Sankalpa. That is the stupa's name where Daku Angulimal attacked the Buddha. And Daku Angulimal attacked the Buddha. And the Buddha, the latter, he stood his ground and he was successful in converting. He was successful to everyone's surprise and to his enemies' chagrin, to the Buddha's enemies' chagrin. The Buddha was successful in converting Daku Angulimal. The latter becomes a monk and joins his group of disciples. So folks, here I am on the road. I have left Persona behind. Persona is the house of Sudatta, the Prime Minister of King Pasenadi, and I am headed towards your Sankalpa, which is Daku Angulimal Stupa, where he attacked the Buddha and where the Buddha converted him. Okay, now I have shown you Garethi, which has been taken for Sravasti, and then I showed you Sikh Gyan Sirpur, which is the preaching hall King Pasenadi made for the Buddha, and then I showed you Masi, which is the Sangrama which King Pasenadi made for the Buddha's aunt, Mahaprajapati Gautami. And proof that these are all correct is the next one, which is Persona, which is your Sudatta's home. And then the next one is proof that Persona is Sudatta's home. I've shown you Sudatta's home, which is Persona, and I have explained that in India, people were known according to their deeds, elders were known according to their deeds, not by their names. Now, the next one, which proves that Persona is Sudatta's home, is your Sankalpa Stupa, which is the place where Daku Angulimal attacked the Buddha. Now Zhang says east of Sudatta's home is the stupa where Daku Angulimal attacked the Buddha, and the Buddha, he converted him. See, if the Buddha got knowledge that Daku Angulimal was in the area, so he goes to change this man. And Daku Angulimal sees the Buddha, and he was about to kill his mother so that he could go to Brahma heaven. But when he sees the Buddha, he says he's a great Shramana. If he kills him, then he will certainly go to Buddha's heaven. So he tells his mother to wait and then goes to attack Buddha. And he attacks Buddha, but instead of fleeing or getting scared, Buddha, he slowly approaches him. And then he tells him, why are you persisting on your evil ways? Why are you persisting on ignoring the goodness in you? Why are you persisting on ignoring the goodness in you? Why are you only taking into account the evil in you? This, causes Angulimal to stop on his tracks and think that this man is not terrified of me, he's not even scared of me, and he is saying that there is goodness in me. So this Angulimal says, look, for me there is no return. For me there is no return. the route I have chosen, I cannot go back. The Buddha says, yes, you can go back. And the Buddha promises him that he will help him to go back. So that is the stupa, that is the spot. And then Angulimal promises. He promises that he will never commit any crime again. Promise means Sankalp. Sankalp. So that is why the stupa's name is Sankalp. See, the British historians, Hoey, your Cunningham and the others, they have identified Sahet Mahet in near Sravasti. Sahet Mahet are just 2 kilometers away from each other. Now they have identified them. In Sahet, they have identified as the Jetavan. So basically, see, the Buddhist texts don't mention Sahet Mahet. So, that's all rubbish. You have to have the names according to the Buddhist text and in the prescribed area which Huen Tsang prescribes. So folks, that is the story of Angulimal. That is the stupa's name is Sankalpa. Remember, it's Sankalpa, Sankalpa, Sankalpa. So folks, check out what Zhang has to say, and then you can see the place on Google satellite maps, and then you can see pictures of the stupa itself. Thank you. Now let's see where Zhang takes us after Sudatta's house. Still east of this stupa to record the site of the house of Sudatta. Shenshi, Sudatta's house is here, folks. This is your Garethi, which is your mistaken for Sravasti, and this is your Sigyan Sirpur, the preaching hall. King Pasinadi made for the Buddha, and this is Masi. This is Mahaprajapati Gautami's Vihara, which King Pasinadi made for her. Now, to the east we saw Persona, which is Sudatta's home. Sona, because he bought the Jetavan with gold. So this is Sudatta's home, which Huen Tsang calls Shenshi. Now let's see where he takes us after Shenshi. By the side of the house of Sudatta is a great stupa. This is the place where Angulimalya, Yang-kiu-li-mo-lo, gave up his heresy. The Angulimalyas, who are the unlucky caste, the criminals of Sravasti, they kill everything that lives, and maddening themselves, they murder men in the towns and country, making chaplets for the from the head of their fingers. The man in question wished to kill his mother to complete the number of fingers. When the Lord of the world, Buddha, moved by pity, went to him to convert him. Beholding the Lord from the convert him. Beholding the Lord from far, the Angulimalya, rejoicing, said, "Now I shall be born in heaven." Our former teacher declared that whoever injures a Buddha or kills his mother ought to be born in the Brahma heaven. So some preacher had told him that whoever kills a Buddha or his mother will be born in Brahma heaven. Addressing his mother, he said, "Old woman, I will leave you for a time till I have killed that great Shramana." Then taking a knife, he went to attack the Lord. On this, Tathagat stopped slowly as he went, whilst the Angulimalya rushed at him without slacking his pace. The Lord of the world, addressing him, said, "Why do you persevere in your evil progress and give up the better feelings of your nature and foster the source of evil?
The Angulimalya, hearing these words, understood the wickedness of his conduct, and on that paid reverence to Buddha and sought permission to enter the law. So that is the place where Angulimal asked for forgiveness. He promised never to sin again, and he asked permission to enter the law. So where was this? By the side of the house of Sudatta is a great stupa. Let's see, by the side of the house of Sudatta. This is Sigyan Sirpur, the preaching hall. This is Masi's Mahaprajapati Gautami's Vihara. This is Persona. This is Sudatta's home, and next to it is Sankalp. Sankalp means promise. This is where Angulimalya. See, people of the stature of the Buddha and Angulimal and Sudatta and Prajapati Gautami had to have names. Their stupas had to have names. Now this is Sankalpa. Sankalpa means promise. So this, and that was Angulimal's name also, nickname also, Sankalp, because he promised not to do any crime again. So this is the stupa where Daku Angulimal attacked the Buddha, and the Buddha stood his ground and made Daku Angulimal change and follow the law, and he became a bhikshu and one of the Buddha's disciples. So check out the pictures of the stupa where this incident took place, the pictures of Sankalpa.
Now that I have shown you where the stupa is, see, this is the road leading from to Sankalpa, which is Daku Angulimal's stupa, where he attacked the Buddha. Folks, this story is very popular amongst the Theravadis who follow the Theravada school of thought. And Angulimal, it is a very unique story. It shows the strength of the Buddhist religion in its ability to change a person from such a heinous criminal to a lovely human being. So this is your Sankalpa. Sankalpa is the place where the Buddha was in Sravasti, in Garethi. There was no place called Sravasti, it was Garethi. So the Buddha was in Garethi, and he heard that Angulimal was on the rampage. So he goes to confront him. And the place, Angulimal hears that he was about to kill his mother, because Angulimal had gone on a rampage, and his mother trying to control him nearly got killed by him herself. So he lets go of his mother. He was about to kill her for her fingers, to put it around add it to the fingers in the necklace around his neck. Anyway, Angulimal he hears that a sadhu has come, which the Buddhists have mispronounced sadhu as Shramanera. They have mispronounced sadhu as Shramanera. The sadhu had come, and so he and his teacher had told him that if he kills Shramanera, he will go to the Brahma heaven. So he lets go of his mother and he attacks the Buddha. The Buddha stays his ground. And this surprises the criminal, the Angulimal. And as he rushes towards Buddha, Buddha stays his ground, and then Buddha tells him, why don't you look at the better side of you? Why are you looking only at the criminal side of yourself? At the a heartless side of yourself? Why don't you look at your inner heart, the kind part of you? It exists there. So Angulimal gets surprised, but then he tells the Buddha that he has gone too far. He has gone too far, there was no going back. The Buddha tells him, no, there is going back. And the Buddha takes full responsibility for his safety. So folks, this shows that however the depth you go into sinning, you can always turn around and ask for forgiveness. So Daku Angulimal, he was, a lot of people was surprised, the king was surprised, people did not believe it anyway. They all believed it after Angulimal, he helped a pregnant woman who was in a cart. And he helped her and she gave birth to a child. And favor he did to her. This was an eye-opener for everyone that Angulimal had truly converted and had become a good man. So folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. Look, this is your Sankalpa stupa. And if you liked this video, if you found it educative, don't forget to follow, like and subscribe to this page or channel, Buddha Exhume, and don't forget to tell your friends and relatives about it.